All right, guys, this is an arithmetic sequence. They've given us two terms, the first and the fourth term, and they want us to determine the eighth term. Now, if they had given us the first term and the common difference, then we can just use the formula and plug in the eighth for n, and we can calculate what the eighth term is. It would be simple. Excuse me. But in this case, they didn't give us the common difference. We have to figure that out. And what I like is if they give us two terms, then just use the spreadsheet. So I'm going to go here, and the first term, actually this is x, this is y. First term is going to be 1, and it's a negative 20. And then the fourth term is a negative 2, okay? Now, we don't need these terms in here. They didn't ask us for the second term or the third term. They just left these spaces in there. We're trying to find the eighth term. So all I'm going to do now is I'm just going to come here and I'm going to enter these two terms that they gave us. Now remember, whenever they give you two terms, 99% of the time you should use the spreadsheet. There are a couple exceptions, but for the most part, you should be using the spreadsheet. So here, those are the 2 points. Now we just go here, got two blue dots, X, Y goes here. We know it's linear, so we're gonna do menu 461, boom, boom, boom. And here's our equation for the sequence. Now, all I'm gonna do, the easiest way to do this is just go to the main calculator screen. And once you run a regression, it creates a bunch of variables. And this is the one I'm using. It's called REGEQN, stands for regression equation. So if I click on that, you see it gives me parentheses and it's got a blinking cursor. That's where I enter the input, and the input is 8. So it says the output is 22. So if you would say the eighth term is 22. Now, if you just write this, you're only going to get 1 point. What you have to say is, I use the calculator and came up with the equation what was the equation we came up with? Let's go here. It was y equals 6x minus 26. And then I just plugged in 8 and figured out what the output would be. All right, so if you explain how you got your answer, because it doesn't say you have to do it algebraically, right? But they like to know how you got your answer. You just can't put an answer. So you just can't put 22. You have to explain how you did it. You could say, I used the calculator and I ran a linear regression, came up with the equation, and I just plugged in 8. That would be fine. Make sure you do that because you got to get all the points you can. Do not leave any points on the table. All right, I'm going to stop and post this